Doom the Dark Ages was just announced on the recent Xbox Games Showcase, and honestly, every Doom fan from across the universe collectively lost our utter fucking minds, myself included. Yes! 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 Holy shit! It's gonna be a different video today. Today I'm just gonna be talking to you a little bit about what we saw in the trailer, my thoughts on it, and what I'm expecting or hoping for in the Doom franchise going forward. This is not a technical video. I'm not gonna dive into the gameplay mechanics. There are some great videos by Devo and Under the Mayo on those topics. Go and check them out. I will link them if you're curious about that. But without further ado, because the hype is so damn real, don't forget, if you like what you see and you want to see more, please hit subscribe to see more. Alrighty then, without further ado, let's dive right into the setting and where we're at. So, Doom the Dark Ages. Originally, they were talking about calling it Doom Year Zero. I think that kind of made sense. It is a prequel, and it's turned out to be that way. Doom the Dark Ages takes place in the time between Doom 64 and Doom 2016. That little glory little bit here. Essentially, there was a video interviewing Hugo Martin where he talks about, well, I wrote it here, where is it? In the first age, in the first battle, when the shadows first lengthened, which is also in the original Slayer Testaments. Basically, this is that battle, this is that fight, that war, and honestly, did not expect that. I was hoping for something more to do with the wraiths, but I'm really happy just the same. The game basically sets us up as the super weapon for the forces of heaven or the Night Sentinels, unconfirmed. I'm pretty sure we're going to be part of the Night Sentinel forces of some kind. There is conversation about this being part of that original Night Sentinel civil war when the Doom guys first, found. We saw that in the one cutback scene. If I have footage of it, I'll bring it up. But we see it there, and this is just as the Khan Maker and the forces of heaven start to get involved in this whole dynamic. We do see a little bit of footage of, well, heaven or some kind of maker outpost or station or world. I think it's going to be very cool to see what kind of dynamics the makers are in this game. It's going to be very exciting to find out. Moving swiftly in, without further ado, we notice that we get a whole bunch of new interesting weapons and a few callbacks, sure, but we'll get into the more interesting ones first. Let's start off with the obvious, right? The style. The weapons for me look gritty, more primal, more medieval. I think this is still doomed to its DNA and to its core, but they're definitely going back and giving it a more rustic look. We can see that there's more leather, that it's more rough, far less demonic than what we used to in a lot of our other guns in Doom Eternal. The trailer already shows that we're going to be wanting to get up close and personal for a lot more melee combat in Doom the Dark Ages. I'm just going to call it Dark Ages for now when I can. Yes, it's going to be a shooter. We're going to get our plasma gun and our shotgun. That's all going to be great. But one of the biggest things that we'll notice is the use of the shield. We'll get into the shield in a little bit, my thoughts around it, but this game definitely wants us to be more melee focused. It wants us to get in right into the thick of it, quite literally being a force in a battle zone, going forth, fighting, slaying, and destroying demons. Yes, this is a notable change from the gameplay style that we may be very used to in Doom 2016, and especially in Doom Eternal. We were far more mobile, far more fluid in our movements. There was that Doom dance I'm so fond of referring to, but don't really have a full idea of what that is. We also noticed that in some points in the trailer that the gameplay is not focused so much in arenas, well, unless they're really big arenas. They do look more like battlefields, maybe a little bit more wide open spaces. Now, I'm not sure where they're going to take this. I could be wrong just based on what I'm seeing. Some people have mentioned, I know Devo mentioned that maybe more Metroidvania-like. I know other commenters have talked about maybe something more open world. I don't know if I want that, honestly. I mean, I'm happy to mix the formula up a little bit, and I'm sure if anybody can do it, it can do it, but I'm nervous. I just don't want id and Bethesda to follow the same open world tropes that we're seeing so frequently in games today and just make it boring. I don't want another Gears of War open world game where it's just a basic boring collectathon with action thrown in between. I don't think it's going to be that way. This is Doom after all, but I don't even want them to go in that direction. So I'm hopeful, but we'll have to wait and see. Before we jump into the shield, we did get a look at our super shotgun. Now, the super shotgun looks glorious. It being a prequel, we obviously get the meat hook far later in the Doomslayer story, and I'm totally fine with that. Who knows, maybe we get the meat hook later in the game. That'd be pretty cool, like some really cool unlockable that we eventually, maybe, I don't know, this is just ideas. But I did like the look of the super shotgun. Nothing makes me happier than something long, cold, and hard in my hands, and we get some really great gameplay shots here. We can see that there's definitely some kind of dual barrel power-up that takes out the Mancubus at this part of the trailer. That's cool. It shows that there's a bit of customization or a bit of flexibility with this kind of gun. But we're also seeing it being so well used with the parry system and the chain shield. It is called the chain shield, yes. And the chain shield. So definitely that block, punch, hits, dodge, whatever kind of mechanic going on there. I think that's pretty cool. It's going to create a far more different and unique gameplay style than even I'm used to in most of these kinds of games. But it's going to be great to see how the chain shield mixes it up comparatively to the chain saw and the sentinel hammer used in Eternal and 2016. And look, quick comments on a few of the other weapons that we get to see in this trailer, because I think it's worth calling them out. We of course get to see the plasma rifle. Nothing really crazy going on there. It's a plasma rifle, and it seems to be, I want to say the workhorse, but it's definitely going to be a nice suppressing gun. Yeah, we finally get the railgun in this game. The railgun isn't the first time we've seen it. If you played Calcium Contract, we saw the railgun or the xylophone gun in that game already. I'm going to put some footage up here. You do the math. Who played this game first? Did Hugo Martin play Calcium Contract? Oh, we see you, Hugo. We see you. However, in this version, the Doom version, the railgun basically crushes up skulls of cultists to shoot out bone pellets, which will make a very good weapon for fodder enemies and maybe getting rid of some hordes and that kind of thing. Good suppression weapon. However, in the trailer, you'll notice that we don't see a lot of arcadey updates, so we don't see a lot of weapon drops or health drops, and this could probably, and is very likely, just for the sake of the trailer, it would make a lot of sense for guns like the railgun or the shield to mow down a lot of fodder enemies for us to get that ammo and the health packs. We'll have to wait and see when more is revealed, but it's very likely that these are the functions of these kinds of weapons or features. One weapon that I'm particularly excited about is, it feels like an automatic crossbow where we shoot bolts. Basically, it's a crossbow bolt gun and it looks really, really cool, and then there's nothing makes me happier than being able to pin something to the wall and watch it die. Now, the shield seems, like I said, is going to be probably a major core of this game, but we're able to do a whole bunch of things with it. If we look through the trailer, we can see we can do everything from a basic block, which is great, to defend against this arachnotron blasting us in the face. But there also seems to be a very cool parry system that we can use to defend, parry, and blast off with a super shotgun in the case of this Hell Knight here. We also can see an interesting feature of a bull run or a bull rush, whatever you call it. There's probably a more correct name for it than that, but essentially driving fast towards a bunch of enemies, maybe taking them out. This adds the offensive mobility part of this weapon, which is pretty cool to see. But then we also get the ability to throw the shield like Captain America. So I mean, why not? It's such a versatile weapon, isn't it? So we're definitely going to be using it for a lot of different things, and I think that's okay. The shield itself is going to lend itself to being an always-on utility. No matter what gun we have in our right hand, the shield will always be on our left, and we're going to use them interchangeably wherever possible. Or at least that's what I'm hoping for. I think that will create a much more interesting gameplay experience. Away from the weapons now for a second, we do get a great glimpse of us piloting a fucking Titan mech. We also see that we get to pilot Dragon, who's got just like all the shit. It's just very, very cool. I've not really had much comments around this other than it's cool, and I can't wait to try it out myself. Again, when we're watching the Dragon here though fly through these sections, I don't know, like, is this an on-rail section? Do we get to just be completely mobile? It would be interesting to see more of this. Again, I'm so scared we're working into that open world space, and I know a lot of people do want that. For me though, I don't really. That's what I don't want. But there's also open world light where it doesn't kind of hold your hand, and I think we did see glimmers of this in Eternal, where there were some Easter eggs throughout certain parts of the arenas and go-betweens, lots of traversal. So maybe we're just looking at extremely large levels rather than open world, which I think might be a nice balance. Hey, we'll see. Is this still Doom? Is Doom the Dark Ages still a Doom game? What does it mean for the franchise? And is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Personally, me right here in front of you now with my very, very tight Doom shirt and my Doom hat that only just fits, with my Doom tattoo, what I can tell you is that I think this is Doom. This is definitely Doom. However, a lot of people are hoping for either a Quake or a Heretic or Hexen reboot rather than another Doom game. That's quite a common conversation. Do I think that this is a net bad? Not at all. I think more Doom is good Doom. I think it would have been nice to have a Quake or a Heretic IP re-release or rebirth or what have you. I think especially if you're going to go old school in the medieval Dark Ages genre space, for me that works perfectly for Quake or Heretic, especially Quake. But at the same time, in the year of our Lord, John Romero, 2024, I can see also why a company like id, Bethesda, and Microsoft would not want to take a risk on something like Quake, especially when Quake Champions didn't do too well, and Heretic hasn't seen the light of day since Heretic 2, and that didn't work out too well either. I get it. I understand it from a business point of view. Just sad and unfortunate. Not a Quake game, not a Heretic game. But having said that, damn cool idea to go into the Dark Ages for Doom. I love the approach. I love the fact that we're going to get something different. And I know a lot of people are not going to like this. I know a lot of people don't like change. A lot of people have spent thousands of hours on Doom Eternal in 2016 and perfected that craft. That is a gameplay style all on its own, unto itself. I think we need to mix it up. I think we need to try different things. Doom and id have always innovated. They have always come up with new ideas. They've always tested out new approaches. Some of them have succeeded, some of them have not. But I think this one is a step in the right direction. Now, if they can get the multiplayer perfected and maybe give us some mod support or map packs, then I think we're cooking with gas, is apparently what my friend says, and I had to say it now too. So in closing, everybody, Doom the Dark Ages, hell yeah. It's a good day to be a Doom fan, and I cannot wait for the final game to be released in 2025 on all platforms. That's PC, PlayStation, Xbox. And let me just say, there was all that drama when everyone was just like, oh, no, it's going to be exclusive to Xbox. I was right, and I told you so. Get fucked. Guys, I leave it to you. It's so early to tell. We've just been told it's going to be a very exciting 12 months or whenever it releases in 2025. And I cannot wait to pick up every little drip of stuff going on with the Dark Ages. It's going to be a lot of time. I missed out on Eternal. I'm not going to miss out on the Dark Ages. At least I don't think so. I got a lot of ground to cover. Tell me what you think. Are you excited about the Dark Ages? Are you nervous? Are you scared? Are you amped for the new gameplay? Do you think this is really Doom? Would you have preferred a Quake game? Maybe a Commander Keen dark, gritty version? Wouldn't that have been cool? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd really love to hear from you. That's it. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you guys like what you see and you want to see more, please don't forget to hit subscribe to see more. And if you'd like to support my work here on the internet, we've opened up YouTube channel members, and I stream every Saturday on Twitch and YouTube. And if you'd like to support me there, that'd be great too. For those that already support me, you guys are absolute legends. You roxes my boxes. You moisten my loins. You make me drip it like it's hot. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please take care. Rip and tear. Cheers. Yes! Oh, I got chills!